Do you want to create an amazing opt-in incentive? One that's going to get all kinds of traffic and attention, and most importantly, people to sign up for your email list? Well, there are 7 key attributes that go into an amazing opt-in incentive. Let me tell you about what they are. All right, here we go. Number 1, they don't promise the entire transformation. So you're not going to promise them that they're going to lose 30 pounds in 10 days. You're not going to promise them world peace. You're not going to promise them absolute health, the most amazing marriage, the most everything in something you're giving away for free. So here's what happens. People recognize that you have to pay to get certain kinds of information. And so if you're offering world peace in exchange for their free email address, they go, not going to happen. They don't believe it. They don't sign up for it. People don't fall for that kind of thing. Plus, think about it this way. When you get somebody to opt into a world peace kind of promise, what have they got still to buy from you? There's nothing left to sell them. You just gave them the secret to world peace. The best opt-in incentives, number 2, focus on a specific question or need related to the big transformation that you're going to offer them. So if your program or your course or your consulting or whatever it is that you do deals with a big picture thing like how to have great relationships with your teen, then a specific problem might be, how do you get them to obey curfew? How do you get them to stop pestering their little brothers and sisters? How do you get them to turn off the phone and actually sit there and have a conversation with you at dinner? How do you get them to not eat everything in the house as soon as it comes home from the grocery store? Those kinds of things are specific issues that people who are struggling with a teenager are dealing with. And I realize that people are really struggling with a teenager are dealing with a lot more serious issues than keeping them from eating everything in the house. But as an example, all right? So you focus on very specific things, very specific needs, very specific questions that people have. Answer that one question, then you've still got room to sell them things. You've still got lots of other information you can give them, and it works. Next, it's something that people really want. It's important that you use the many different tools. And if you just look down in my feed, you'll be able to see a number of recordings and tools. And if you go to doncrowther.com, you'll see a number of articles that I have created about how to find out what people are really searching for, because that thing that they're searching for is a good indication that they've got a question, they've got a need that needs to get answered there. And so don't go create something that just is something that's important to you. The only thing that's important when you're creating an opt-in incentive is what's important to them, and answer a specific question or need that they've got. So use those tools. doncrowther.com, you'll see a bunch of them there. Next, it has a front cover. In other words, it has something that you can turn into a graphic, take a picture of, and actually show on the form that you're asking people to opt in on. So often, people don't put a picture of what people are getting, and it almost always hurts. So there's 2 kinds of picture you put on the page where you're trying to get people to opt in. Number 1 is a picture of what they're opting in to get, or number 2 is a picture that shows the transformation is already taking place. The second one is not as good as the first one, because the second one can be generically achieved in a lot of different ways. And so if you show a picture of what they're getting, they're much more likely to want it. Next, it's short and actionable. You're not writing full books here. It's something that's short, that enables them to consume it quickly, to follow specific steps to achieve a specific goal. They came to you because they wanted an answer to a specific question. Answer it and tell them how to solve this particular problem in their life. That creates huge amounts of trust and expertise for you. Next, it's written in about 2 hours. So if you're taking 95 hours to write this thing, you've taken way too long. You're over delivering. You're not giving people what they want. Now remember, 80% of all the opt-in incentives that people sign up for, they never actually read. And so you don't want to spend 95 hours on this. Spend 2 hours. Get it done. In fact, actually set a timer for 2 hours, and an hour and a half, stop writing, start editing, start turning it into something that you're ready to send out. And then when 2 hours ends, it's like, okay, I'm done. I got a deadline. That way it keeps you out of perfectionism. Just 2 hours is my limit. At 2 hours, I'm done. Next, it's delivered through email. Now, a lot of people say, hey, I would prefer to give a video instead of writing something up. I think my audience will be more likely to identify with me, to see my personality and things in video. And that's wonderful. But you still ought to give them something that is delivered via email. So I like to have like a 3 to 5 page report, something like that. By the way, not a huge fan of checklists for these things because everyone recognizes checklists have virtually no value. And so a report, something like that, that then on the thank you page, you simply say, hey, in about 10 minutes, that report's going to be in your email. In the meantime, let me share something with you. And then you can have a video that causes people to get to know you, see you, and understand more about you and your personality and what it is that you give, yet they're still being trained to go to their email. If you simply deliver it on the thank you page, you train them they don't need to open your emails. And that's the last thing you want. You're trying to build an email list because you want people to read your emails, not because you want people to sign up, never look at your emails, and pretty soon everything you send out is going to spam. So you've got to drive them to their email to partake of it, as well as to have a habit of consistently reading everything you send out. And finally, number 7, it's one of many. The best opt-in incentives are not the only opt-in incentives you create. I like to say, hey, you've done your job and you got about 30 of them out there. Now, I realize that sounds overwhelming. Don't think of just create one, and then next week, create another one, and then next week, create another one. And in about, 8 months, you've got 30 of them out there. Different people have different needs. Different people have different interests. Different people have different things that they are willing to opt in to receive. No one opt-in incentive is probably going to do it for everybody. So create more than one. There's no limit. There's no police out there that say, you fouled up. You have to go to jail because you created more than one opt-in incentive. No, that's not the way it works. You create as many opt-in incentives as you need to get the people you need to be on your list so that you can sell them what you need to be able to make a living. All right, there you go. 7 different key attributes of an opt-in incentive. So here's my question. What was breakthrough for you out of this? What do you get now that you didn't get before? What mistakes have you made in the past? Let me know in the chat. And I'd like to end by giving you a very specific invitation. I'd like to invite you to, within the next 7 days, spend 2 hours and create a new opt-in incentive. Go do some research, figure out what people really want in your niche, spend 2 hours and write 3 to 5 pages of something good, and then spend another couple of hours figuring out how to get it up on your website and an opt-in page created and everything else like that. Next 7 days. Would you be willing to do that? Is 4 hours of your time in the next 7 days worth possibly changing your entire business and life? Because that's what a good opt-in incentive can do. Think about it. Follow these 7 tips, create an amazing one, and I'd love to see what you come up with. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff. Like what you just saw and want more? Subscribe now, ring the bell for notifications, and watch these other videos.